Victory. All right. Welcome back, everybody, to the Fantasy Hockey Hacks podcast, your season-long source for fantasy hockey news, analysis, and fun. Because on this podcast, boys, we don't take ourselves too seriously.
Not really, no.
Sometimes. Some of us do. No, I'm just kidding.
Jordan, Bruce, good to see you both. How was your weekend? Hey, happy Thanksgiving to you guys and to everyone listening.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Boring. Not much. Lots of driving, but yeah, it was just a casual Thanksgiving weekend here in Southern Ontario.
Just maybe a little too much turkey, a little too much pie.
Wow, just the weather's finally getting cold, but it's still nice out.
Are you guys?
I don't know about you guys. It's probably colder out there.
It's not bad. Hey, Bruce, like between.
It wasn't too bad. It was god awful windy today, but other than that, it was nice.
Yeah, actually, the sun was out quite a bit. It
nice.
It was nice and warm actually. Nice. Yeah, like probably high 15 today, I think.
Something in that range. The wind made it early.
Yeah. And so for anyone listening, yes, we are talking about the weather, and that is something that we do here typically in Saskatchewan. So if you're not from this province, maybe you don't talk about the weather as much, but we do. Anyway, with that, guys, let's get into it. Episode 195, NHL Fantasy Preview for Week 2. We are recording this on Monday, October 14th. So we're a little bit behind the 8 ball here, but just with the Thanksgiving long weekend, we're taking some time to enjoy our friends and family, and so our listeners are going to have to suffer, I guess, because of it. But we did post the preview to our article tab on Twitter or X if you're following us there. So if you wanted access to our picks and some of the schedule notes, that information wasn't made available over the weekend. But yeah, let's get into tonight, guys. So starting off with our fantasy lock of the week for October 7th to the 13th. And we've got a few guys here that are up for consideration. I went with Jack Eichel first, given that he led all skaters with 7 points last week, 1 goal, but he's playing some really big minutes right now for Vegas. He's got 21:08 time on ice and 3:55 on the power play. Looks really good. I've got him in 1, maybe 2 leagues. He's looked good for me. Hopefully he stays healthy, and hopefully that level of production continues. But Jordan, you had a couple guys you wanted to talk about, and Bruce, you might have some guys too.
Yeah, you can go for first, Bruce, if you want.
The only one I was considering, and even though he's a bit down on the points list, was my namesake, and that was Dylan Guenther.
Ooh,
playing for Utah. He's had a hell of a start to the season here. He's got 5 goals in 3 games. That doesn't have any assists, but 5 goals in 3 games. That's awful good start for him for the season.
Couple game winners.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
sure. They weren't so lucky today, but they went off to a good start.
They're playing some way better hockey, like just fully regenerized hockey. I'm gonna take Mark Scheifele because that guy is a workhorse. I think he's got about 6 points, 1-1 in the first game, 2 goals the second game, and 1-1 on the third game there. But I'm pretty sure he's got 3 power play points already, and probably around 20 minutes per game.
Yep.
I don't know the power play time, but I mean, there's only 1 power play line in Winnipeg, so I'm pretty sure it's pretty high.
Yeah, 203 for Mark Scheifele in the power play, but that's 62% power play share. So he's anytime they're on the power play, he's out there.
And I mean, 11 shots in 3 games. So
you'll love to see that.
That's why I was just yeah.
I love Mark Scheifele. That's a guy that I've drafted in at least 1 league almost every year, except for this one. I don't think I got him in any leagues this year, but I really do like Mark Scheifele. He's very consistent. He's a point per game guy in his sleep, and he gets the deployment you always look for.
And he's just a dog for the puck.
Yeah.
He's a workhorse.
Yeah. So lots of love for Mark Scheifele for sure. Cole Caulfield is another guy, 4 goals in 3 games this week. He had 2 game winners, playing some pretty good minutes there as well. 18.5 minutes time on ice, 60% power play share. Clayton Keller, how about that goal he scored against the Rangers? Just a slick move on the backhand past Shesterkin.
And everybody was doubting them. Everybody was like, "Oh, they haven't played a real team or a real goalie." No, they're doing just fine.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Utah Hockey Club, I still hate the name, but Barrett Hayton, that was our guy Bruce last year. Looks pretty damn good this year.
He was. Absolutely.
5 points, 3 goals for him. playing almost 18 minutes time on ice and on the first unit power play as well. Can't really ask for much better in terms of line mates, right? He's playing with Clayton Keller and Nick Schmaltz. I mean, he's going to have a good season. I don't know.
There's a bunch of locks this week. A lot of boys are going off this week, and we'd love to see it.
It's been a pretty
love to see it.
It's been a good first week for sure.
7-7 or 8-7 for the Sens and Kings today. Just a lot of goals getting scored. A lot of goals out there.
That's what you want, though.
Yeah, we like to see high point weeks.
For sure. All right, so Fantasy Lock, I think that's going to do it, guys. With that, let's move on to Edge Work, the segment where we put in the work to give you, our listeners, the edge in your fantasy hockey leagues. And we're going to jump into the schedule here, and I'm going to pass it off to Bruce because, of course, this is his area. So take it away, my friend.
All right, so welcome to week 2. This week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday are the busiest days on the schedule. We've got 49 games going on this week with 4 late days. That's 50% or fewer teams in action. So in terms of attempting to optimize the schedule for games played, 5 teams play 4 games this week. Of those 5 teams, Colorado and Pittsburgh play all 4 of their games on light days. LA plays 3 of their 4 games on light days. Anaheim, the king of light days, plays all 3 of their games this week on light days. Utah plays 2 of their 3 games on light days this week. And Winnipeg has 2 games this week, and both of those are on light days as well. So 4 teams play only 2 games this week. Calgary, they need a rest after that win last night, or Saturday night, sorry. No, it was last night.
They've got all the wins. They're 3-0.
I know.
Don't remind me, Jordan.
You know what? It's okay because I'm looking at the schedule, the score sheet here tonight, and Colorado is going to be joining the Oilers at 0-3 here shortly. So not really feeling too bad about it at the moment. So
couple teams pooping the bed.
Back to the schedule. So as I mentioned, 4 teams only played 2 games this week. It was Calgary, Minnesota, Toronto, and Winnipeg. Monday we've got 6 games on the schedule. Tomorrow is 9. Tuesday, Wednesday is 4. Thursday has 11. Friday is 3. Saturday 13, and Sunday has 3 games. And then, as we posted in the notes, we'll have the individual teams with. I'm not going to read these all out here and that. So.
Yeah, the majority of the league plays 3 games, right, Bruce? It's just the major ones with the 4, and then the guys with the 2. But yeah, so check the articles tab in X. And Bruce, thanks again for covering off Hack Stars today. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, that was a different
Bruce.
one. That was different.
You're my boy, Bruce.
Yeah, no, it was a little different. I mean, maybe too much love for the Calgary Flames for my liking, but that's okay. Good performance there from Rasmus Andersson. And I like the Kolasar one too. That's one you don't see all the time.
Exactly.
No, so that was good. I appreciate that, Bruce. Yeah, if you're following us on Twitter X, or if you're not following us on Twitter X, make sure you check it out. Daily blog posts sort of thing on top performers from the night before, and then we go over some honorable mentions as well. So usually there's a couple juicy fantasy nuggets in there just for guys you might want to keep an eye on. All right, moving on here then to NHL Week 2 Waiver Wire Targets. And generally every week, if you're a listener of the show, you know that we focus on players that are rostered in approximately 50% or less in standard Yahoo or Fantrax leagues. We'll kick it off here with our forwards. We've got a few guys we want to talk about this week, starting with Sam Bennett. Guys, how good has Sam Bennett been so far? I mean, unreal.
He's just attacked he started off, or he's continuing where he left off in playoffs, just dominating play, attacking the defenders, bodying the defenders. He's a puck hound.
He's a menace. He's a menace out there.
He's a menace. Well, like, he'd be great if he played a full season, but he's just such a highly trademark player that just sacrifices his body, and that's why I think he's had one. I think you have it jotted down here.
Yeah,
71 games played is high mark for the 28-year-old. But I mean, you have all these. You can read these off, Devin, if you want.
I mean, that's the past 5 seasons. So I think he had one. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, guys. I think he had one season where he played 82 games, but yeah, within the past 5 years, he's only played a high of 71 games. So you're absolutely right, Jordan. Like, he plays that style of game where he's never healthy, or he seems to just always be nicked up. But when he's healthy, he's a very productive player. So he's got out to a fast start here for the Florida Panthers. He's got 3 points, 2 goals, +3, 2 PIMs, 8 shots on goal, 4 hits, 3 blocks, playing over 17 minutes time on ice and 3 minutes on the power play. And that was up to, I believe, Friday night. So some of these stats are going to be a little out. But I mean, the point being here is that the category coverage you're getting from Sam Bennett is almost second to none.
Bar none from this guy.
And I should check his numbers here. What's his roster percentage at right now here, guys? Because he was at just 39% at the time of writing. He's at 44%.
Yahoo. Yeah, 44 on Yahoo right now.
So this is a guy
I think that's because of Barkov going down too. So he might get some extra deployment here for the next few weeks.
Well, and Kachuk went down too, or didn't go
categories
down. But,
leagues,
Matthew Kachuk's dealing with some sort of illness, right? So he's going to miss a week. So the lines are going to be a little interesting here, hey, with those two guys out of the lineup. But I mean, Bennett's going to see some more minutes, both on the power play and at even strength. Really like what he's got going on.
He's just gonna get more time, more opportunity, more body checks.
He'll block more shots too, I'm sure, right? So, but this is a player generally you can be counted on for like 100 PIMs, over 200 shots, over 200 hits. Great category coverage. So lots to like there. 4 games on the schedule, as Bruce had mentioned. It's kind of crazy to me. He's only 44% rostered.
Yeah, like to be on Florida Panthers too, playing with. He usually plays line 2, PP2.
Yep.
I mean, they got a system up there. It's just what an animal. He used to be like that in Calgary, and then they just never played him and never gave him the opportunity. And then when he went to Florida, he just took it and ran. Yeah, he took it and ran.
I mean, for a guy that can't do 10 pull-ups, he sure can play hockey.
yeah. And knock Brad Marchand out.
And if that's not going to do it for you, or if he's not available in your league, take a look at Anton Lander. Center right wing eligible, was just 9%.
We're not doing the Lander.
Did I say Lander again? You know what?
Yes, you did.
Thanks, Bruce.
You did it again.
I did it again.
Fired.
Oh my goodness. I'm out. Anton Lundell. I just don't know why I get those guys mixed up. I know exactly who he is. But anyway, Anton Lundell. Thank you, Bruce, for calling me out today. Center right wing eligible, 9% rostered in Yahoo. So widely available if Sam Bennett is not. And I think just, again, as we mentioned, Barkov and Kachuk being out of the lineup right now, Lundell should play a few extra minutes. So probably worth.
I wonder if it's him or Sam Bennett that's going to go and roll first line.
Just going to pull up his numbers here quickly too to take a look. Because they're playing.
Because who else is down there?
Okay, so this is good stuff.
What's your third?
It's he's got 2 goals tonight. 2 goals. He's played over 19 minutes. He's won 9 faceoffs, 69% faceoff winning percentage, 4 shots on goal, +2. He has looked like an animal out there tonight. So that'll be good. We'll probably have to clip this later, boys. I think that's nice. Probably a clip-worthy discussion. Anton Lundell, not Lander, Bruce. I know you keep saying it's Lander, but it's Lundell, my friend. Okay, get it straight.
Lundell.
Okay, Anton Lundell. Remember the name. 10% rostered in Yahoo. That's a guy you should definitely be looking out for next week. Moving on, this next guy too. I'm just going to preface this by saying that Jonathan Drouin of the Colorado Avalanche is dealing with what Jared Bednar reported as an upper body injury. He's going to miss a few games. I don't know where that puts him in terms of this upcoming week. So take that with a grain of salt. They
still got 4 games. So
yeah, exactly. They got 4 games on the schedule. And if he is healthy, if he gets 2 or 3 of those games, I think it's maybe more of a long-term play here, guys, right? Like I think he's probably going to have that spot with McKinnon and Rantanen for the majority of the season.
Well, I mean, unless Kovalenko or Ross Colton takes it, but I don't see that. I don't see that happening. They got some pretty good chemistry together, Drouin and McKinnon. So if he's in your leagues, I definitely if you're in need of a left wing, that's for sure. Pick him up.
30.
Can't go wrong with PP1 line 1 with probably one of the best power plays in the league, bar none.
Yeah. 35% rostered, so widely available as well. Last year, he played at a career best 56 point, 19 goal pace or production through 79 games. So he looked really good there. And speaking of Nathan McKinnon, did you guys see that hit he laid on Romanov tonight?
No, I haven't.
Oh boy. Yeah, check the Twitter feed. He blew him
full
up.
speed, full speed coming down the ice, or going back up the ice?
He was going up the ice, and Romanov tried to sort of hip check him a little, and it just you got to get off
Just
the tracks, buddy.
Train, just a train.
The Mac attack, yeah, it was ugly.
Oh wow!
So that was fun. And then, yeah, I guess the other guys, as you'd mentioned there, Jordan, Ross Colton and Nikolai Kovalenko, maybe some options to look at in the short term. And I think Casey Middlestat.
I think Ross Colton is shoved up there on the left side right now tonight.
And Casey Middlestat, I think, is another one to look at. Just 18% rostered, centering the second line. And he is playing on that top power play unit as well. So something to keep in mind there. His first.
He's already got 2 points.
Yeah. Tonight he did.
No, I think the last couple of games, I think he's got 2. He got a goal the first game, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, he played 20 minutes and almost like 4.5.
Yeah, he's got a goal tonight too. Yep. Yeah, he's got a goal. He's got 3 goals in 3 games. So, I mean, 22 minutes yesterday or last game, 19 minutes on the first game, and he's up to 14 minutes right now. So, he's getting utilized. 1 power play point. Can't go wrong there either. 4 games this week. If you're needing a centerman, I would definitely give Casey Middlestat a heads up. That's for sure. Wow. Especially he'll probably be playing PP1 now that Drouin.
Yeah, he's been power play 1 all year actually. So he's like 4.5, 4 minutes, 3:20 tonight. He played 22.5 minutes against Columbus the other night.
Yeah, a lot of minutes the other night.
Wow,
boys are just on one.
And 6 shots on goal through 3 games here. So he's looked pretty good. I think Casey Middlestat's a guy I'd give some consideration to. He is up to 21% rostered now as opposed to the 18 we had here in our notes.
Does that say 4 minutes and 30 seconds on the power play?
Yeah, 4:30.
99.3 power play
share? He was like, get the Ovechkin treatment.
Holy. Who is this guy? Pick this guy up.
There you go. All right, next guy up here, Anthony Duclair, left wing eligible for the New York Islanders, 15% rostered at the time of writing. They've just got 3 games on the schedule here: Colorado, St. Louis, and Montreal. And then he's playing on that top line with Barzal and Bo Horvat, and on power play 1. Bruce, I mentioned it in a previous Hackstars post, but I'm feeling really good about that 30-goal projection for Anthony Duclair this season.
Definitely, he's in a great spot. He's got a goal tonight here as well.
That's another clip added to the file. That's 2 clips tonight. Let's go. We're on fire. Let's go.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. This never happens that we're kind of talking about guys, and then as we're recording, they're just piling up the points. But we'll take it.
Nice.
Good luck charm. Who's the good luck charm?
We'll take it. Who's the new guy here, Jordan? I wonder how does that work?
It's that jersey back there in the corner.
Jeez, I can't. I can't even look at it. It hurts my eyeballs. But going back to Duclair, guys, he looked great in preseason. 5 points, 1 goal in 4 games. He's getting the deployment that we hoped he would. It's continued into the regular season here. And that line with Bo Horvat and Barzal, I mean, they looked pretty good. And I just think there's a lot to like about Duclair available in
and he would be definitely rostered higher, but as you said the other day, what is it? The Islander effect?
He plays for the Islanders.
That was a Ryan quote. Yeah, he said the Islander effect is real.
Yeah.
Well, it is because he's playing literally with, I don't know, I would say Matthew Barzal is probably top 25 player, top 30 player in the league, and Bo Horvat's probably top 50, top 100. So, I mean, you're playing with 2 guys that are literally goal scorers and playmakers. So how do you go wrong with playing with those 2? He did fine in San Jose as well. Same with he did well with the Panthers. Like he's a glue guy. He just gets put anywhere and scores goals for some reason. He always finds a way to score goals. Like he's never not scored any goals. And I think these players are probably a little better than some of the players he was stuck with the last couple seasons.
Yeah, he's looked good. And I'm just looking at Frozen Tools here. His numbers are not updated for tonight. Doesn't look like so. It's not showing that goal that he has. So I'm just curious. I've looked at the NHL box scores here quickly, but anyway, yeah, really like Anthony Duclair, and that's available in 85% of Yahoo leagues.
That's what I mean. Like, how is that for a guy that's literally playing 20 minutes a night on line one and power play one on almost any team? Well, I mean, not the Sharks, but like, usually guys like this are rostered immediately.
For sure. I will say, though, he looks, what's he got right now? Just about 12 minutes time on ice. So he's down a little bit tonight. Like Barzal and Horvat are over 14, almost 15 for Barzal. Duclair's down around 12. So.
But I did see that that young rookie was playing on their power play. I forget his name.
Saplakov.
Starts with it. Yeah,
Saplakov. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I think that's what I'm reading anyway. So
yeah, it starts with a T, but it's you say it with an S.
The T is silent. Yeah,
I'm not going to butcher it. Yeah, I'm not going to butcher it on here and embarrass myself.
Sorokin looks good tonight too. 920 save percentage on 25 shots against. So looks like his back is holding up just fine right now.
Georgiev hasn't got pulled yet, so that's good.
Oh my God! Are they just going to give your boy Noonan a shot?
That's another one we get clipped. That's number 3 tonight. That's number 3. We're clipping it. Justin Noonan's taking Georgiev's. I said that right at the end of our last pod. I said Georgiev's, like, Georgiev is done. Look out for Justice and Noonan.
It's wild. It's wild how bad he's been. And then Bednar doubled down.
Sorry, they picked somebody up.
Kakinen, right? They picked up Kakinen too. So
yeah.
that did sort of mix. Yeah, like things don't look any clearer now. But Georgiev has an 848 save percentage right now that I'm looking at, and I don't understand why Bednar is really doubling down on this guy because he's looked awful, and he hasn't looked great the last couple seasons.
No, that's been their main demise, I think. One of their main demises, other than their roster's a Band-Aid.
All right, let's move past these guys. Let's talk about Anthony Beauvillier for the Pittsburgh Penguins. 3% rostered in Yahoo last I checked. 4 games on the schedule for next week, and he is still playing with Sidney Crosby. I saw Brian Rust, though, moved up to take Ricard Rakell's spot. So Crosby, Rust, Beauvillier on the top line. I thought maybe they would have moved him down, but yeah, he's stuck on that top line, which is great to see. I think that's the guy, career high 21 goals and 40 points. So not spectacular offensive numbers. But the deployment is intriguing, and I think he has some offensive potential there. What do you guys think?
I used to like him when he played for the Islanders. He used to just shoot he never really got deployment, but he used to just rip the puck all the time. So if he plays with Sid and Sidney gives him the puck, I mean, if he keeps shooting, I think he shot the puck like 6 times the other game, didn't he?
Yeah, he had 6 shots on goal in that one game. He's got 11 shots through 4 games.
Yeah, he had 2 today, but no points.
No, but 3 hits. So if you're in a Bangers league, he's got 5 hits through 4 games. He got a little bit of power play time tonight, actually, too.
Yeah.
I mean, the Penguins are in shambles. But they got 4 games. They're in more shambles than the Oilers. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, boy.
But they do have 4 games this week. So,
and he's...
I mean, playing with Sidney Crosby, you can't really go wrong.
Yeah. And he went up to 5% rostered. So, there's a couple people out there taking a look at him. But
I'm one of the 5%.
And I guess if that doesn't intrigue you, there's also Ricard Rakell, who, again, last I looked, was 16% rostered. That's a guy that typically has
scored today,
a little better shot rate.
Scored today and then rifled one off the crossbar, probably no later than 5 minutes.
There you go.
After he scored. So he's with Malkin and Michael Bunting on the second line.
And Malkin's looked good, actually, in the early going here. He's got 4 or 5 points through the first 4 games. But Rakell's only...
It's the old Penguins.
Rakell's just 2 seasons.
Penguins doing their thing.
Rakell. No, yeah, Rakell. He's just 2 seasons removed from a 60-point, 28-goal season. Like he's not, you know what I mean? This is a guy that actually had some fantasy appeal not that long ago, and his shot rate's at around 9 shots on goal per 60 in that season. So, I think there's some potential there too. If
him
you're
and
looking for
Bolivia,
and dual eligibility is always nice
they
too.
do. Yeah, 100%.
All right, let's move on to the next guy here. Tyler Toffoli for the San Jose Sharks, left wing, right wing eligible. Again, at the time of writing, was 50% rostered. 4 games on the schedule for them: Dallas, Chicago, Winnipeg, and Colorado. Playing with Macklin, Celebrini, and William Eklund, and on power play 1. Bruce, I think Celebrini's gonna be out here for a couple games. It looked like
About a week, I think they had said he was going to be out for.
so. That's tough for Toffoli. Obviously, playing with Celebrini's a little better than some of the other options they have available to them.
Oh, he looks like they've got him playing with Eklund and Granlund right now, so that's not too bad.
That's not bad at all. And I mean, what do you think, Bruce? Tyler Toffoli, this is a guy he's I think was it 33 and 34 goals the past 2 seasons.
Yeah. So he had 33 last season, 34 the year before in Calgary.
And he was
So
in the
he's-
Jets last. He was with the Jets last year.
Between New Jersey and the Jets, yeah, he had 33 goals.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't see him getting that. That's for sure. But
No,
I mean,
probably
he's-
not, but I'm probably closer to 2025 this year, probably. He's been pretty consistent the last, the last 6 seasons. It's been 20 plus goals.
Yeah, I think you
Yeah.
can bank on at least 20 goals from this guy, even in San Jose.
Yeah. There's only been 3 times in his career he's had, or sorry, I guess 4 times, but he only played 10 games in his first season, that he's been less than 20 goals.
Yeah.
And he scored 33 times.
yeah, that's pretty consistent.
He's going to get all the minutes here, right? Like he's played over 18 minutes. He's playing, almost 6 minutes on the power play the other night.
Yeah.
And the shot rate's there, right? He's got 5 shots on goal through 2 games. So and 3 hits through 2 games.
He doesn't
Yeah,
even
he's-
care. He's going to retire there. He's going to retire happy, not in Alberta or Winnipeg.
Oh, boys, this is his retirement tour. He's already won his cups, right? I mean,
Yeah.
he's getting paid. He's in San Jose. Life's looking pretty
Back
good.
on the coast.
Yeah.
Enjoying the sunny
And he's
weather.
always smiling. Whenever I watched a couple games this week, he's always got a smile on his face whenever he lines up. So, he's actually going out there just trying to support these young fellas
Yeah.
and just show them how.
He's having fun.
For sure.
Yeah. But definitely a good option there.
Yeah.
I mean, they're playing Chicago too. I mean, the schedule is not very, playing Dallas, Winnipeg, and Colorado. So, I mean, like, pick and choose. Pick and choose who you're going to play him against. That's for sure. If it's a Cats league and plus minus stuff like that. So
Yeah. Not ideal in terms of the schedule, but I mean, he's getting the deployment and the shot
4
rate
games
is
can't go wrong.
good. I mean, I looked at his shot rate.
Yeah.
He's been very consistent over the past 5 seasons. He's shot either at or above 10.3 shots on goal per 60. To me, that's elite level shot volume, and it's hard to pass up, even if he is playing some tough competition this week.
For sure.
Okay, and then Macklin Celebrini still just 57% rostered last that I looked at it. So that's surprising to me because I think that guy's going to have a good season as well. He's going to be in the running for the Calder, right, Bruce?
I would sure think so. If this first game here is any indication, he's gonna do well. So I'm kind of waiting patiently for someone to get panicked, get frustrated with him, and drop him so I can pick him up.
Probably not going to happen with this next guy, who we already showed some love to at the start of the show, but Dylan Gunther, right wing eligible for the Utah Hockey Club, 47% rostered in Yahoo, 3 games on the schedule: New Jersey, Anaheim, and Boston. Playing with Logan Cooley and Jack McBain, and on power play 1. Could you ask for a better start to the year, guys? 5 goals through 4 games. Finally held scoreless tonight.
No, you sure can't. And too, when you listen to what his teammates were saying about him, it was just a matter of time before this happened for him. They were saying it last year already too. He's got a
just
hell
can't
of a
believe how
shot.
quick- Yeah, I can't believe how quick his shot is. He doesn't even look like he pulls the back. Like the one he scored on Varlamov, it was literally a snap of the
How
wrist.
casual did that
thing
look, hey?
Was shout. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, how do you... It's wild.
He was just out for a
He's-
Sunday
he's-
night beer league game at 11 p.m., just kind of Wristed that one
Look
from
like
the
me
hash
out
marks.
there. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
But
Yeah, I'm just truly impressed by this player. It's nice to see him just, him wanting to go there and do what he wanted to do and get
Oh,
the
and he's only
chance to play.
21. So you imagine he gets a good season off. He's only 21. He can only get better.
he has not reached his prime. He's not even close, right? And
No, and
close.
with the amount of resources Utah has now, like their health facilities, their training facilities, like all those players are just, I bet you all those players take one full, either small or big step this year.
I think
all of them.
they're all just so happy to be playing in, the views aren't great for the spectators, but they're playing in an NHL quality facility now, right? They're not playing for the, what are they called?
And their general manager cares, their owner cares.
Yeah.
They're playing
Like
with
they
the
actually
hanging
wanna
out with
win.
the
Like,
Utah
it's-
Jazz. Their whole lives they're probably just, I don't know, at the start just all like, oh, why do we got to move? And I bet you most of them were like, this is awesome.
I bet they were all begging to move from Arizona. Like just the locker room situation and stuff that I had seen, it looked awful. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
My only gripe
Wasn't even in the same building.
Yeah. And my only gripe with Dylan Guenther, Bruce, is his minutes right now. He's not getting a pile of minutes at even strength. Like he's getting the first power play unit time, but he's really not getting a lot of minutes.
Yeah. No, they're keeping it fairly balanced throughout the entire team. No one's really getting a whole lot of minutes. And that's probably to start off, that's probably a good thing. And then as the season moves on, depending on how the coach sees, he might lean on some of these guys a bit more. But
I think
nothing
most
wrong
of
with
them are
keeping
like
it balanced.
15 to 17 minutes, except for the fourth line.
I'm
pretty sure it was.
Yeah, it's tough from a fantasy perspective, hey, when you've got guys like that. I mean, if he's producing, you don't really care as much, but when you're looking at it, you got a guy's playing 15 minutes a night and maybe he's not scoring for a couple games. Like, no one's getting that prime deployment that you want in fantasy, but from a real hockey perspective, they don't care, right? It's like this team's kind of running things by committee. They're playing fantastic. Yeah, it's cool to see because I think as fans, we watched Arizona play last year and you could kind of see it coming, right? They had some high quality players there and Connor Ingram looked great. And then they went and bolstered their team.
They started off great, and then the announcement about their owner being a moron came out and basically...
Yeah,
and it just took the wind right out of their sails. They were...
Yeah, just an embarrassing situation.
Yeah.
But
all right, boys.
Honorable mentions.
Yeah. Last guy here. I mean, we talked about him a little bit at different points throughout the week, and I think he might have made our Hackstars post at 1.2. But Ivan Barbashev out of Vegas, center left wing eligible, 42% rostered, 6 points, 3 goals in 2 games played.
He went from 16 last week when we mentioned him as well.
There you go.
When we mentioned Olofsson, we also mentioned Ivan Barbashev second at 16% rostered.
So we're just out here pumping
now
tires.
He's up to 42.
That's all we're doing.
Oh, yeah. Filling tires. Next.
All right, that's going to do it for forwards here tonight, guys. Hopefully that you found that helpful. Let's go to D-men here, starting with Adam Boqvist. And this one's a little bit interesting because he dealt with some injury. We knew he was a power play specialist. But yeah, got hit in the face with the puck.
It's a small...
Yeah, that's a problem. He was 12% roster when I checked. 4
shot.
games on the schedule again for the Florida Panthers. And he's running power play 1. Had a great preseason, 5 points, 2 goals in 5 games. And I don't know if it's just them easing him back into action here because he did get hit in the face with the puck. But the ice time, Bruce, has not looked good. I think he played 11-11 tonight. And even if you are getting all the power play time, and he did post a power play assist, which is great.
Yeah.
Right. So he's got 1 point through 3 games and he's playing over, 2:18 or 2 minutes on the power play. But his average ice time right now is 8:46.
Yeah, that's
they could just be easing him back in, but he wasn't playing in a top pairing role before he got the puck in the face either. So
No.
he's
No. I think it was 13 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Well,
or less.
And I'll say this too
So
here,
he's
guys.
gonna be-
His time has been, it's skewed a little bit because he only played 4.5 minutes in that first game before he got hurt. So I think probably safe to say you're going to get 10 to 14 minutes a night from this guy, but 3 minutes on the power play.
Yeah, and that's where he's going to get his points.
Okay. Yeah.
For those of us that are patient enough to own him, like me.
Well, and his he went from 12% rostered to 9 over the past few days. So people are maybe losing a little bit of faith in this guy, but I think if you're
puck in the face will do that.
well, look at John Carlson. That was a different situation because he got hit hard, but
Yeah.
It takes some time, right? You got to ask our buddy Tyler.
Yeah.
If Tyler was here tonight, he'd tell you all about getting hit in the face, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't a puck, it was a stick, but it takes time to get back up to speed for sure.
I watched somebody get hit right in the teeth, straight puck, and the next morning I went and bought a face visor, full shield.
Yep.
Nah, I ain't doing that. And I'm pretty sure the whole team has one now.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jordan. It's like if you're playing beer league, you're out there for fun. I don't need a $20,000 dental bill, right? That's what happened to Tyler. He just said I'd recommend a visor or a cage. Like toss one on. You're gonna be happy you did because Tyler was dealing with headaches and pain and all sorts of it sounded rough.
All kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
He sold me on it. So
wouldn't want to wish that on my worst enemy.
Yeah. Not ideal. Okay, so yeah, Boqvist.
Get well soon, Boqvist.
If you're like
Get
Bruce
well
and you went 0D in the draft, Boqvist is a guy you can get a little bit later that's gonna maybe pay off down the road.
Exactly.
So I like that one.
Exactly.
Samuel Girard for the Colorado Avalanche is the next guy up here. He was 1% rostered. 4 games on the schedule, so you got to like that. 3 of them are at home. The last game on the road is against San Jose, so that's a juicy matchup. He's playing with Josh Manson and on power play too. An update on this. Tonight, Devin Taves did not suit up against the Islanders, dealing with a lower body injury. Oliver Shillington took his spot on the top pairing, but Girard was still on power play 2, and then Makar obviously on power play 1. So I think there's a bit of opportunity.
And he's at 20 minutes of ice time so far tonight.
Yeah, and he's been a guy that typically
Right now.
plays some big minutes, right? So,
But they're getting whopped by New York Islanders. So,
well, the
take
good
that
news
with a
is,
grain
like
of
I said
salt.
before, Gorgiev's only given up 5. So that's an improvement.
I can't wait for my prediction. We're going to have so many green lights on this podcast by the end of the winter. Oh, my.
Oh,
That's
boy.
beautiful.
yeah, so the thing with Girard, though, not a ton of category coverage. You're kind of looking at like a points-only situation here, but
Yeah.
But with Byram not being there either, though, he will get,
that's,
more deployment than what he got.
yeah, good point, Jordan.
So, yeah.
Okay, so that's going to do it for that guy. And then this one, again,
And for the guy that I thought that I dropped his other pal, Brant Clark, this morning for this. Not for him, but just because he was getting more playing time. And then this kind of went to falter tonight
Jordan,
because Brant Clark was getting...
I made the same mistake, man. I was talking about Jordan
Shoot
Spence.
yourself right in the foot.
Yep.
Boom.
Yep. And Brant Clark, yeah, he's going to make me look like an idiot for this, but he wasn't getting the power play time. It really looked like it was a small sample size. I understand that, but yeah, 5 minutes on the power play for Brant Clark.
Yeah,
today.
but they did the same thing last year when Doughty got injured. They went with Brant Clark for like 2 games, and then they put was it Gavrikov or I forget who they put in there instead because Clark wasn't working. So but Jordan Spence looked good.
He did.
22 minutes of ice time, along with 4:26 power play time on ice, 55% power play share. So, I mean, visually, you would have just assumed that he was getting that priority position. And then tonight, when I was watching the game, it was like, oh, Brant Clark gets a power play assist. And then it's like Brant Clark gets another power play assist and then another one. And by the end of it, you're like, oh, okay. So like LA made their mind up, and that's too bad. I dropped him already. So, well, thanks LA for the first shot in the foot this year.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, and he's still only played 17 and a half minutes, so he's not playing huge minutes, but he's getting that power play time, like you said. And actually, the category coverage is pretty good. He's got 8 penalty minutes through 3 games, 7 blocks.
And by the way, I didn't say his name. This is Jordan Spence of the LA Kings. I just wanted to shoot out there that we did put Brant Clark on there. What, last week?
We
I
were
think?
talking about Brant Clark, and then it was Jordan Spence,
And
just
then-
given that he did play over 22 minutes and he did get 55% power play share. It looked like it was going to be Spence's unit to run.
That was, yeah.
I will say, in the case
then-
that I dropped him, I dropped Brant Clark for Lane Hudson. And so that was that.
Oh, that's a nice.
Yeah,
I dropped him for Gooley. So
maybe not as ideal,
But
but
I mean,
the Lane
no.
Hudson thing.
Well, I mean, Gooley got another goal tonight, so
maybe, yeah,
winning and losing, boys.
it wasn't that bad then. I guess it's
No, just a streamer.
so there you go.
Just a streamer.
But yeah, so Jordan Spence, I mean, maybe still an option. Brant Clark, if he's still available. Obviously, he's looking really good now. The category coverage is fantastic. And either way, whether it is Spence or it is Clark, there's 4 games on the schedule for these guys next week. So lots to like there. We've got a couple other guys I want to talk about quickly. So I guess the first one I already mentioned, Lane Hudson for the Montreal Canadiens, 4 points in 4 games, 2 on the power play. He's averaging 21 plus minutes of ice time per game and 3 minutes on the power play. Really like what Lane Hudson's doing so far. Bruce, I know you're big on this guy, Jake Walman.
Yes, I
Agreed,
again, like I
man.
said, we went to, I did this almost the 0D thing again this year. So it's like, okay, who am I going to pick up that's going to get power play time and all that stuff? And that's, San Jose, no one's given him much of a chance. And he's kind of the only defenseman there that's got any experience doing it. So what the heck, right? And he's getting everything so far. I think he only has 1 point so far, but
Yeah,
it'll come.
how many games they played? 2 or 3?
2, I think.
Just gonna look him up here. But yeah, I think he's got 1 point through maybe 3 games, 2 games. So he's got 1 point in 2 games, like 24-40 time on ice and 318 on the power play.
It's just ridiculous.
Getting big minutes, 7 blocks through 2 games, 4 shots on goal, 2 hits. Like, I like the category coverage for him, and you're right, Bruce. I don't think he's going anywhere this year.
No, I think
he'll stay there.
He's
all
not going to
year.
have a fantastic season, but he's going to have a good season.
But I mean,
Who's gonna beat him out? Mario Ferraro?
yeah, that's kind of the
likely.
options you're looking at, right? But I think if you can get 30 points out of this guy, let's say get 10 goals and 30 points and some category coverage. I mean,
It's
That's a
nice
nice waiver
fit for your
pickup.
fourth or fifth defenseman on your fantasy.
and imagine, Bruce, if your league counts shifts. If you count shifts,
I know.
you're counting big with this boy.
I know. Yeah, one league stopped counting those for some reason. I don't know why.
Probably because it was a stupid stat to count. But anyway, and then, okay, Jordan, I know you've been waiting all night to talk about this guy. We'll let you take a stab at it. Talk about your boy.
Well, I just wanted to take just a moment of silence for the Edmonton Oilers losing probably one of their best defensemen, I think, of the last couple of years. No, I'm just kidding. But Philip Broberg has looked pretty good. Come on, like 3 games,
Yes,
3
he has.
points, 20 minutes ice time. I don't think he's getting much power play time, but he's approximately 5 sheets cheaper than Nurse.
Oh boy, we're going
I
there.
don't know,
Hey,
guys.
we're going there already.
I just had to bring, like, come on. I know you guys. I know you. He's probably not supposed to be on this show. We don't talk about people that leave the Oilers anymore. I got the memo.
He's
I saw.
yeah. Sorry, Bruce. Go ahead.
I saw a comment somewhere. This was during the game last night. It's like, okay, boys, I'm taking a look at watching Darnell Nurse play tonight. I think we traded away the wrong defenseman. I think Nurse made CC look bad.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. He had another own goal that this last week, Darnell Nurse, and like I know it's not his fault. You know, sometimes it's bad luck, but man, he's never ever
gets a
going
lot
to
of
live
them.
up to that contract.
Nope,
no.
he sure
And
isn't.
look, okay, Philip Broberg.
And it's not his fault either, right? It's not like you're going to say no to 9 point whatever million or whatever.
I guarantee you,
you're not going to say no
every
to
single person on this podcast and everyone listening to this podcast, if I were to put a contract in front of you for $9.25 million times 8 years, you would step over your own mother to sign that contract. So
pretty close.
I
Yep.
don't blame Darnell Nurse for signing it. I think it was handled so poorly by Oilers management. They bridged that guy twice when they shouldn't have. You should have just bit the bullet, paid him too much in the short term, and then as the cap went up and he hopefully lived up to his contract, you get better value on that deal. But they didn't. They paid him 9.25. It's insane to me that he's getting more money than Cale Makar. Like, it's just, it doesn't make sense, right? The whole thing was just terrible. But anyway, I'm getting way off track here. Philip Broberg, probably public enemy number one on this podcast. I've got a real dislike for this guy because I get it. He's not happy with how things were handled in Edmonton. But you know what? You're 22 years old, 23 years old. Like, you weren't, he had shown nothing to the Edmonton Oilers organization to that point for them to give him 20 minutes a night. And then he finally did something in the playoffs and decided to sign an offer sheet for.
And the Blues are like, "Yep, see you later, bye."
Yeah,
Yoink.
but he's like, let's be clear. I love what he's doing. Like, and for fantasy, you know what? Actually, like, valid point, Jordan. Like 3 points, 1 goal, 20 minutes or 19.5 minutes time on ice. He looks good.
I didn't see his hits and blocks, but
Yeah.
I'm sure he's got a few of them.
So,
but yeah, no, that was just a small tidbit, just putting it out there for the boys. We miss you. We miss you, Philip.
That we do. That we do.
But we can get to the goaltenders.
yeah, you
here.
struck a chord there. Okay, let's talk about the goaltenders here. Lucas Dostal for the Anaheim Ducks, 9% rostered, 3 games this week: Utah, Colorado, and LA. I mean, with John Gibson on IR earlier this week, the crease is essentially his, and he's done well to establish himself while Gibson is away. Bruce, you and I have talked about John Gibson a lot over the past 2 years and just how bad he is.
Yeah. Well, he's not bad the whole season. Like I said, it's about December. He's seeing pucks in his nightmares, and it just goes downhill from there because.
Well, I see so many of them.
Well, that's exactly.
Like double of
it's
what
like a hailstorm of rubber
sees.
every game, right? So by December, it's like the nightmares have set in, and he just can't focus anymore.
And Dostal's come in and he's looked really good. 902 save percentage in 67 career games to date. And what did he have? A 30 save shutout against the Sharks 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
So in his first appearance, he looked
did.
really good. And I think if he can be a fraction of that moving forward, this is a nice 0G candidate. This could be this year's Connor Ingram. What do you think, Bruce?
Well, as long as he gets some goal support from the offense, absolutely, he could definitely do that. I'd love to see that. I'd like to see the Ducks team actually take a step forward for a change instead of going backwards every year.
And they've got enough good young talent; they should be able to. You think it's at a certain point, right? I mean,
although they are ahead of the Oilers in the standings right now, so they are sort of taking a step forward.
Yeah,
Which side are you on here? Are you on my side or Devin's side?
I don't mind poking the bear every now and
Bruce
then. It's
loves to
like,
poke the bear. So if you ever get if he gets a shot, he takes it for sure.
You get a poke. I get a poke.
Yeah. All right.
And the guy I picked up today, Sam Montembeault. Let's go.
Yes.
Monty.
didn't have.
So they were cheering tonight. They still lost, but they're still cheering his name even though they lost.
Yeah, not a good outing for him tonight. What was the save percentage on that, guys? I didn't know his numbers here, but
Tonight? It was not good.
about 5 or 6. Was there an empty netter in there?
He gave up 5, so 833 was his save percentage.
Yeah. So no, I'm fully in support of this. I think Sam Montembeault is great. 47% rostered, 3 games on the schedule next week. I mean, he's got the edge for the starting gig, right? He played well last year, 16-15-9 record. Through his first 19 starts, he actually had a 9.6-3 and a 9.07 save percentage, 2.94 goals against, and a 48 save shutout against the Toronto Maple Leafs to open the season. So, I mean, there's lots of buzz around Montembeault right now just because of how he played in the first couple of games. But
in general, though, the Canadians do look a hell of a lot better than, the last year. Even the year before that, they've just...
Yeah.
Slafkovsky's become like a full-grown man. He just manhandles defensemen now. He's not afraid of, getting dirty and punt. I'm pretty sure he got into a scrap tonight with Pettersson. Not a fight, but I'm pretty sure he just manhandled him, and then he got up, and he's like, You're so big. Why do you do that to me? And then you just like started wailing. Like just, he is a big boy.
He is.
It's nice seeing all these young players just coming around and
they're doing this without.
And Kirby Doc's just manhandling people too. Like they're just a bunch of young.
Yep.
Like you got Jack-Eye, Doc, Sofacott. Like they're big, strong. Like I actually like the Montreal Canadiens as a team.
They got some grit
as a whole.
eh?
So Montembeau's, they're gonna lose some games, but if you did a 0G option this year, he's definitely a guy you need to go get because he's gonna start probably 75% of the games. What do you think? 60 games at least?
I think
unless he gets hurt.
Well, 60.
It probably could get
but
there.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get the lion's share of the crease, right? Like this, he's gonna be the guy.
Who's the backup?
Well, it's Primo. Yeah, so he's like,
yeah.
No, he's for sure. And they're doing all this, guys, without Patrick Laine, right? And they've got Harvey Pinard's on IR as well, and David Reinbacher's out. So like they got some more reinforcements coming down the line here too.
Yeah, I like the new NHL is coming, and it's almost here. They just, you got Utah, well, technically Phoenix finally becoming a hockey team. You got Montreal coming back to be a hockey team. Calgary, nobody even thought Calgary was going to be a hockey team. They're actually
playing really well,
firing on side
really
balls.
well.
Like, oh yeah, hockey's in a real good place, except for the Anaheim Ducks. Maybe the Oilers too.
Maybe the Oilers. Yeah, they'll maybe get that figured out.
Corey Perry's still scoring goals though.
Hey, you know what? That was a goal, and that was garbage. They called that back. I was so mad about that.
Which one?
There
was 3 in the last 2 games.
I know, but the one that Corey Perry, like he tipped that one in front, and they called him for goaltender interference, and whatever, it doesn't matter. But
3 goals in 3 games disallowed.
I listened to the 32 part of the 32 Thoughts podcast this morning, and Friedman said that this is, I think, the 4th goal like that's been called back this season. They've done it 3 other times this season, so because he had seen it, he knew right away it was getting called back, even though to us it looked like, he says, basically you could have a fraction of the inch into the crease, it's getting called back, regardless of
doesn't make any sense though. This is like, remember when Dallas won the cup, right? And against Buffalo and fans were up in arms because Brett Hull's foot was in the crease. Is that where we're going now? Like,
that's where we're headed.
So they're going to call that goal back in the playoffs, right? Like in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final, when that goal gets scored, you're going to call that back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just asinine. That's so brutal. Yeah. The NHL frustrates me so much.
Like
sometimes.
The offside. It's just like the offsides and stuff.
Well, and they want more offense in the game, yet there's all these ticky-tack things that are going to take goals back. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But anyway, before I go on another rant here for 10 minutes, guys, that's going to do it for tonight, and that is our Waiver Wire picks. That's episode 195, our NHL fantasy preview for week 2. Thank you so much for listening. Dear listener, if you like what you're hearing from us, if the content is helping you in your fantasy hockey endeavors, please consider leaving a 5-star review either on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. Give us a follow on Twitter at FHHacks or on Instagram at Fantasy Hockey Hacks. We've also got some short form content we're posting over on YouTube, so give us a look over there. And be sure to check out Twitter or X, because we are posting daily content there with our Hackstars posts. Either Bruce or myself is covering that off. Chris is posting some great stuff there for us as well, a weekly blog post, kind of like 32 Thoughts, where he's just basically keeping everybody up to date on what's going on around the league. So that's great stuff from him. And so lots of good stuff. Keep an eye open. Bruce, Jordan, thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. We will see you next week.
Sounds good.
Thank you. Have a good night, boys.
Take care.
Good night.